Piers Morgan is back doing what he is known best to do now, which is have people who are just somehow worse than he is on camera in his immediate vicinity so he looks better.
If you'd known what was going to happen to you in terms of the ferocity of the attention, you've got 8 different official investigations into you. People have called you the biggest liar in the world. You know all this stuff. If you'd known what was going to happen, would you have still wanted to run for office?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So me running for office was...
Wait, resign then. Ain't nobody stopping you, George.
Who is the real George Santos?
So it's a great question. My name is George Anthony DeVolder Santos. Pretty long name. But George Santos I'm just a regular person, Piers. I'm flawed like every other human being. I've made mistakes. I've made strides. I've accomplished something that not many people are able to accomplish, which is to come from abject poverty.
He's not wrong. Not many people have been able to lie about every aspect of their resume to get to Congress. The planets aligned absolutely perfectly for this man to get to this level. So he's not wrong about that. But the other part of this that's funny is he's like, oh man, who amongst us hasn't, I'm imperfect. I'm an imperfect vessel. Like, who amongst us hasn't done this? And it's like, no, man, I don't think a lot of people have done that. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I don't think a lot of people have went through what you've gone through, where they've successfully been an international con man. That's like a you thing. You should be celebrated and praised for it, but I don't think that's a thing. Who amongst us hasn't lied about 9/11 and the Holocaust? You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. I have a 9/11 take, but hitting 9/11, lying about 9/11 and your personal involvement with 9/11, but then also the Holocaust at the same time, that's wild. You know what I mean?
There's a claim that you said you attended the Horace Mann School in the Bronx, New York. Is that true? Did you attend that school?
I attended it for a brief period of time and then went back to the public school system and then dropped out of the public school system and attained a GED. I was always very truthful of not completing high school due to financial difficulties.
A spokesman for the school told CNN there's no record of you ever attending. What name did you attend that school?
A variation. It was either George DeVolder or Anthony DeVolder. I wouldn't know. I was a minor. I don't know which way.
CNN, I believe, checked all the variants of the names that you've used, and there was no record the school could.
God, the GOAT. He has to do it. He has to lie. He literally can't stop lying. What a Weasley little liar, dude. He can't stop lying. He's so Weasley.
I'm bemused that you would be naive enough to think that you could run as a politician in New York in particular and not expect to get what happened to you, which is a massive comeuppance when they discovered.
Okay. But he did win though. His expectations were true. They were real. He won. He was fucking right. It worked. Shut the fuck up, Piers Morgan.
Stupid.
But to run for Congress of the United States and to just tell blatant lies about even your academic record, I'm just struck, not necessarily that a politician would lie, but that you would think no one would find out.
Well, I'll humor you this. I ran in 2020 for the same exact seat for Congress, and I got away with it then. And
bro! No! He said, bitch, I got away with it once. Why wouldn't I get away with it twice? You did get away with it twice. Let's be real, he did. At this point, he's just basically just like, yeah, I got away with it, fucker. What are you talking about? I'm literally in Congress. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. He's like, I'll fucking do it again. I'm doing it now, bitch.
So you thought, actually, they're not going to find out?
No, I didn't think so. But to that effect, it's embarrassing. It's humbling to have to admit your faults as a human being. And I wish, genuinely, if the media put the equal amount of efforts and resources, and I'm not saying this as villainizing the media, but just let's keep it fair, on all 435 members of the House and 100 members of the Senate, I think the American people would have more clarity of who represents them in Congress. I'm not saying, I'm not pointing.
I think the media,
he's right,
both at local level and national
he's
level.
saying all other Congress people are fucking liars too. And he's right, dude. He's like, who amongst us hasn't lied about every fucking aspect of their credentials? Who? Why not place them under the scrutiny, which I agree they should, is so funny.
Everyone that's in Congress, right? I mean, maybe not to quite the degree you've had to sustain it, because they knew with you they had basically a wounded animal. Some of the stuff about your family life has caused, I would say, more offence, if, as people believe,
9/11.
It wasn't true. And I want to turn to something that's obviously very personal to you, and that's your own mother. And this question of whether she was working, as you claimed, in her office in the South Tower of the Twin Towers on September the 11th.
Bro, absolutely fucking shameless, by the way. To just be able to sit there on national television and just be read to motherfucking filth as you, like I said, sit there and fucking eat shit from people who are like, from Piers Morgan of all people, being like, here are the many different ways that you have fucking lied. My question, I guess, is why? You just have to sit there and eat it. It's awesome.
And then passed away, as you said, a few years later when she lost a battle to cancer. Now, there is no record of your mother, Fatima de Volder, ever having worked in the Twin Towers. So was that true?
That's true. So the way that I look at this, and I've rest this case before, and respectfully, please, I won't debate my mother's life as she's passed in 16, and I think it's quite unsensitive.
Wait, what the fuck? Respectfully, bitch, you have disrespected your own mother by using her as a talking point. Like, I mean, listen, I love making, references to 9/11. Maybe the latest round of merch might even have one. Not the round of merch that's coming out now, but it's crazy for him to do this.
Legacy.
Well, okay, but hang on. Here's what I would say to that. They're only doing that because you put this on your campaign website. Two genealogists found documents that said your mother returned to Brazil by September 2001, and she was actually not even in America at the time. So all this points to her not being anywhere near the Twin Towers. Could you just got this wrong?
I mean, are you telling me that I got wrong what my mother told me?
I don't know.
This is a wild way to go about this. He's now just like kind of throwing. Is he throwing? Am I misunderstanding this? Is he throwing his dead mother under the bus? Also, I don't think Piers Morgan has ever rolled someone this fucking hard. And it's kind of crazy. What you are seeing here is a reckoning for George Santos and a revitalization of the British charlatan Piers Morgan. In his entire history, Piers Morgan has never rolled over an interlocutor with such speed and ferocity.
Is it possible she misled you?
I don't believe so. She wasn't one to mislead me.
But there's no record that she was there that day at all.
So was it technically he's throwing his dead mother under the rubble? Oof. Well, he did, I think, say that she died of cancer later due to 9/11 related carcinogens that she inhaled. So, like, he first threw her under the rubble, then he threw her away from the rubble, but said, like, she still got fucking cancer.
And there's a record of every single person that was in both those towers.
I stay convinced that that's the truth.
You claimed in a conservative...
It's funny because, like, it is literally one of the most well-documented, like, victim. It's like one of those things where it's not like Vietnam, you know what I mean? Where like, things go unnoticed. There's so many casualties. You just don't know. It's like when motherfuckers try to make like, oh my God, I was literally about to say, it's almost as well documented as the Holocaust. Like, imagine lying about the Holocaust. And then I realized, oh my God, he literally did do that. I was about to be like, it's literally it's like as well documented, even if not better documented than like the Holocaust. You know what I mean? Like, and he fucking did that too. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's so good. Oh my God.
Podcast in May 2022 that your grandparents survived the Holocaust. Your campaign bio again.
And there it is. Yep.
During World War II. And you told Fox News that you have Ukrainian heritage on your mother's side. Now, again, multiple family records show your maternal grandparents were born in Brazil, and a genealogist told CNN there's no sign of Jewish and or Ukrainian heritage and no indication of name changes along the way.
So this is the one that I'll battle to my grave, to the point that I've already ordered those DNA test kits, and I've done 4 of them so far, and I'm just waiting for their returns, and I'm very curious to share those with everybody, because I grew up with the story was my grandfather was born in Ukraine when it was part of the Soviet Union, migrated to Belgium, met my grandmother in 1940 or 1941. They fled to Brazil, where they falsified a lot of their documents to claim they were born there. And now, look, we're talking about...
So was it DNA came back linking him to many murders? Oh, no. There is nothing easier than fucking being a Republican out there, is there, you know? Elizabeth Warren lied about something her entire life. A hilarious lie that pretty much every white American is engaged in. It's gross, for sure, but it's also fucking hilarious, right? So hilarious that Fordham Law Review wrote in 1994 that Elizabeth Warren was the first woman of color law professor at Harvard University. Makes it even funnier, in my opinion. Now, Elizabeth Warren didn't win shit. I guess she won the Senate, but demonstrably destroyed her chances when it became public knowledge that she was lying about her background as it pertained to her chances of winning the presidency or the primaries. Nothing happens here to the George Santos. Also, Elizabeth Warren was technically a Republican when she was lying about her heritage.
You know, I'm one of the most staunch pro-Israel, most staunch pro-Judaism people in Congress today.
Well, so much so you claim to be Jewish, but you're not Jewish.
I never claimed to be Jewish. I've always made a party.
What? Motherfucker say he's never claimed to be Jewish. No, dude, come on, dog. You can't be saying that. You did, though. Oh, he's doing the Jew-ish thing. Oh, it's going to be so awesome.
Favorite joke.
You claim to be Jewish, half Jewish, a proud American Jew, a Latino Jew, and a non-observant Jew. They're all direct quotes from you.
So
but you're not. You're
Piers,
a Catholic. Like me. I'm a Catholic.
Piers, I've always made this as a party favorite joke, and I've done it on stages across
What's
this country.
What's funny about falsely claiming you're Jewish?
No, not falsely claiming I'm Jewish. I'd always say I was raised Catholic, but I come from a Jewish family, so that makes me Jew-ish.
But again,
it's always been a party favorite. Everybody's always laughed, and
sure
now that everybody's canceling
me, dude. Your Honor, to be fair, every time I lied in the past, people kind of liked it. So really, who is to blame here? Me or the people who liked it?
You angrily denied. This is another one where it's quite interesting because I don't know why you would deny it when it was clearly turned out to be true, particularly after all the fury that had gone on. But you angrily denied being a drag artist after a Brazilian drag queen.
A drag artist? Oh. I love the lies and drama stuff, but does this guy even have any ideas or policies that are at all beneficial, or is he just a useless sack at the moment? Wait, what? Brother, he's a Republican congressperson. The last time Republican congresspersons had good ideas was the Civil War. Of course he doesn't have any good ideas or any value. That's why we're just like laughing about it. True. We're talking about congressperson. Nixon and the EPA, Reagan with amnesty. There are even the worst demonic Republicans have advocated for sometimes good shit. I mean, Donald Trump with the First Step Act. We're talking about Republican congresspersons, okay, specifically.
Or performed as a drag queen.
Also, I'm exaggerating. I'm sure you can find something.
Categorically false.
It is.
It's not, though, is it?
Pierce.
Seen the pictures.
Hold on. I go out. So if I was a drag queen, I was the poorest drag queen in the world because I had one outfit in one day.
Wait. Is he claiming he didn't? Wait, what the fuck?
False.
It is.
It's not, though, is it?
What?
Pierce.
Seen the pictures.
Hold on. I go out. So if I was a drag queen, I was the poorest drag queen in the world because I had one outfit in one day.
I'm not saying you
were the shortest lived career.
I'm not saying you were a good drag queen. I'm just saying you clearly dressed up.
Bro, stop. He said you weren't even a good drag queen, bitch. You didn't have many outfits, and that shit wasn't even camp enough, bitch. God damn. Imagine Piers Morgan rolling you this fucking hard. You'd have to quit. You have to quit. You have to leave Congress. I'm sorry. Or maybe this is a brilliant tactic. What Piers is doing here is a brilliant tactic called reverse psychology. By pushing George Santos's buttons and claiming that he is a bad drag queen, George Santos will take pride in his drag queen activities and push back, only to admit that he is the best drag queen of all time. George has his office in my neighborhood. They're constantly protesting outside. Even the local Republicans want him gone. That's so awesome. There's nothing funnier to me than the fact that even local Republicans want this guy gone. But given how Congress works and given the reality that there's a slim majority in the House, that he is literally an impenetrable fortress right now. It doesn't matter. You will not be able to remove him from office.
1 month after you were elected, you claimed on a Brazilian podcast you'd already suffered an assassination attempt, and that you described being mugged on Fifth Avenue in 2021.
I was mugged on...
Dude, that is such a funny lie. He lies about the dumbest shit. It's so awesome. It's like lying about 9/11, incredibly well documented. Lying about the Holocaust, incredibly well documented. Lying about being mugged. He could have said he got mugged literally anywhere. He could have said the Bronx. He could have said different parts of New York. Fuck it. He could have said Upper East Side, but like fucking Fifth Avenue is the most like heavily, it's like saying you got mugged on Times Square. Like it is literally the most like police officer dense area. There's cameras literally everywhere. Happened to him on Fifth Avenue, literally at rush hour. Like you could have chosen any other time. You could say Fifth Avenue, let's say at 2 a.m. in broad daylight, as if cops would follow up with that. No, like it's funny because it's not that hard to make up a lie about being mugged in New York. A lot of people will believe you if you say something like that, especially people that don't live there. But Fifth Avenue is one of those areas where, like, especially in broad daylight, it is virtually impossible for this not to be on record. And remember, being robbed, being mugged is a little different than being pickpocketed. He didn't say that. He said he got like mugged
on Fifth Avenue in 2021.
Was there any police record?
No, there was no police record.
You didn't report it?
There was no police in sight. 2021, this was a zombie land out here.
Oh, but did you report it?
No. They took my briefcase and my shoes.
Who did?
2 guys.
Took your briefcase and your shoes?
That's it.
They jumped you on Fifth Avenue?
That's it. I was crossing the street, not 5th, pardon me, 6th. And if that reported 5th,
right.
6th, because I worked on 55th and 6th Street.
Why
on
didn't
the
you
A&B
report
building.
it to the police?
You know, Piers, I don't know.
They took his shoes? Oh my God. They took my shoes and threw it over a telephone pole. And then they said, we're doing this because you're white. And we wanted to play the knockout game. And next time we see you around Trump country, this is MAGA country, they said. And then they also said, if we see you around here one more time, we're going to do knockout game with you. He's just like tying up different kinds of lies, famously like Jussie Smollett.
And what about the assassination attempt? When was that?
It wasn't an assassination attempt. It was a death threat. This is poorly translated Portuguese to English language.
It was a death threat?
It was a death threat. It was several death threats.
Nobody tried to kill you. So we go back and we listen to the original.
Please do.
It wouldn't have you saying you'd already suffered an assassination attempt.
I encourage you.
Yeah?
Yep.
So it wouldn't have you saying those words.
It has me clearly saying that I suffered an.
You almost admitted it, dude. Come on. Oh, come on. I'm losing it. I suffered
It has me clearly saying that I suffered an.
Oh, dude. Oh no.
Death threats throughout the process of running for office, something along those lines, but no assassination attempt.
Okay.
Any Portuguese translators in the
At the
chat?
top of the show, I went through a long.
Em de 2021, a minha casa sofreu vandalismo. Vou para uma festa de Réveillon com meu marido, a gente volta, a nossa casa foi vandalizada porque a gente estava numa festa republicana na Flórida, em dezembro de 2020. Então, é aquilo. Eu já sofri vandalismo, a gente já sofreu atentado de vida, atentado de assassinato.
Atentado de assassinato? What the fuck? He did say attempt. Assassinado. Even I fucking understand. I don't even speak Portuguese, motherfucker. The translation is correct. Oh my God. What? Dude, I love this. I fucking love this, man.
Because you're now facing 8 different investigations. Who knows where they're all going to lead? There's all these questions about your financing, your campaign expenses.
Yes, this is the best part. This is the actual shit that might get him in trouble.
You say there's 8 investigations. I haven't seen a formal investigation be open yet. At least report it factually. Just please tell the people, because what this alludes to is people thinking that I'm a criminal, that the DOJ is coming after me, and then we start receiving, again, death threats at my office. Just 2 weeks ago, we had a credible death threat from a man with a rap sheet, as long as you can think of, from the state of Florida, calling us and leaving the man was so psychotic.
Saying what?
He left a detailed voicemail saying that he was going to get a baseball
Out the wazoo!
bat, bash my husband's brains in, and I was going to watch it. Then he was going to splatter mine all over the floor, and he wasn't going
to... Dude, he's going to be like, and you know, gay congresspersons are under attack. Dare I say more? Even gay husbands of congresspersons are under attack. Dare I say more? I'm talking about Paul Pelosi. That's right. Me and Paul Pelosi were in a homosexual relationship, and David DePipe was a part of the lovers' quarrel. Come on, George Anthony Santos Devolver. Get the fuck in there. Add another line to the sea of lies. Make it spicy, dude. Go ahead. Who cares? You lied about everything. Lie about this too.
I would simply ask you, I mean, do you feel you've always been a gay man?
No. My life wasn't straightforward. I was very much in love with someone, and we got married, and it just didn't work out.
Did she know that you might be gay?
I don't think so, no.
I mean, let's be real here, okay? Republicans marrying a woman while being gay in the closet is... I mean, that's if anything, that like it gives him bona fides, okay, as a Republican congressperson. That's very on brand. That's not unique at all. Like I said, that is the most normal part of George Santos' experience. The most like, the closest to fucking George Santos ever will get to the average normie Republican congressperson.
What about all the lies you've told? Would you stare down the camera and just apologize?
I've looked inside the camera and I've said sorry. And I have no problem saying sorry and asking for forgiveness of the American people watching at home and everyone abroad. Because I think that if you can ask for forgiveness and have the humility to accept and admit your errors, I think that's the first step. Now, it's amazing how
Yeah, it's actually a virtue that I lied all those years because, like, I can admit to some of them while most of them I don't admit to. Yeah. No, it's just, why don't you recognize the virtue in what I'm doing here is pretty funny. You haven't even admitted to everything. You're still lying. There are still lies that we have not uncovered. And you're like, oh, but like, I'm being so virtuous. I'm brave. You know what I mean? I'm brave. What the fuck is this? Please. Don't put the cart before the horse, dog. You know what I mean? He just lied about everything. He lied about everything. He lied about everything and hasn't really said sorry about it either. He just keeps lying. He just like kind of doubles down. And then they find out that that's a lie too. And then he triples down. And then they find out that that's a lie too. It's just like a weird game where he just keeps fucking adding additional components to it. The my mother died on 9/11 one was like a perfect demonstration of how he does it too. Because at first he said, my mother died on 9/11. Then he said, my mother died years after, because they found out that wasn't true. Then he said, my mother died years later due to cancer because of the toxic inhalants from 9/11. And then they found out that his mother wasn't even there on 9/11. So now he's saying, well, my mother told me she was there on 9/11 and I was a kid and I believe her. Like, he's constantly fucking adding new components because he's a pathological liar, which is why I love him. But no, I will not sit here and act like, it's okay for him to demand that people say, yes, George Santos, you're doing the right thing because he's apologized for it when he's literally not even apologizing. Come on now. As much as I appreciate a good old fashioned lie about 9/11, his mom told him she died on 9/11. Yeah.